Well, hello and happy Monday, everybody. Welcome. I am jumping on live. I have a lot of questions to answer. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Okay, so we have an announcement at Doula Givers Institute. We have so many wonderful things. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, great. Lots of different channels here. So working out all of the live stream, and yes, we are live. So there are big announcements coming out from Doula Givers Institute that we are thrilled to share with you. And if you have a question, if you want to put it in, absolutely put that in the chat and we'll answer it. But also letting you know that we have so many questions that have been coming in. Okay, got it. Yeah, let me see. Okay. All right, cool. We have so many questions that are coming in, and I want to really share what we are doing here and why. Hold on, I'm just making sure that we're all good there. So for those of you who know what we do at the Doula Givers Institute, everything ended. We have so many courses coming out for you. Just give you a little sneak peek of what is going to be announced in August. It is absolutely amazing. But the Death Doula certification, and I want to really clarify this now today. I'm sorry, we are getting messages for, yeah, thank you so very much for that. Why we are discontinuing to offer after August 1st the certified end-of-life doula training standalone. And I want to really tell you why that's so important for us. Because the death doula movement is in full swing and it's a global movement and it's amazing. And we need death doula practitioners. They are so needed to fill in the gaps in mainstream medical. But what we're finding is that there are so many trainings coming out, certificate training over here and training over here. And technically, like if you want to get down to the real root of this, is that it's not a government licensure and you can call yourself a death doula if you wanted to with no training. Now, would you do that? Would you charge families for a service without having any background or training? I really hope not. However, we want to make sure again, and we know that coming in at the end of life to support people as they're dying, which right now, sometimes I get called in for a few days, is beautiful, but it's not solving this. It's not shifting the culture that we have to shift. So for our doula giver practitioners, we want them to have as thorough, a vast amount of education in everything end of life, meaning aging, knowing the aging support population, what's needed for people that are aging, maybe with serious illness, going to doctor's appointments, having trouble where they're going to be able to live as they age, all of these different things. What if they don't have family? Then having another section, which again is our death doula training, which is absolutely amazing. It is 3 different levels. It is full of the 3 phases of end of life, the top 10 end of life disease processes, the physiology. It's amazing. And then the care consultant training. So that is for planning ahead, not just for advanced directive planning ahead in all of the categories that we need to as we age. So we want our doula giver practitioners with our education to be able to walk through the door knowing that they have all 3 sections of end of life covered, because that's what families really need. So we are going to discontinue offering the standalone death doula training certification as of August 1st. And why are we doing this? Because we want to make sure that, again, we're always putting out the highest level of end-of-life education for not just the practitioner, but for families and community members. So we are going to be offering that one training as the doula giver specialist. Think of it as a master's end-of-life education. And if it's something that you are called that you want to do, we want to have you. But I just want to share with you that we still have the standalone certified end-of-life doula training for you if you want it until August 1st. So yes, I want to answer that question. I want to tell you why we are only going to be offering the one training moving forward is because this has gotten to be such a needed, respected, and integrated offering. So the practitioner, the doula giver practitioner is now, they're being used in oncology unit, in oncology units, in hospices, in hospitals, in nursing homes, like all over, filling in the gap. That makes total sense. But we want, again, our our trainees to have the best education. Always, we've always wanted that, and we always provide that, and ongoing education. So we want to make sure that the doula giver practitioner, and that's something that you have to decide that you want when you want to do this work. You have to make sure, what do I want to learn? How do I want to practice? How educated do I want to be within the end of life arena? And I would say, if I wanted to do this, I would want as much education possible, and I would want to know that there's an association that I can join, that there's ongoing education and networking, because this is what's needed. This is what's needed for ethics. This is what's needed for best practice. And this is what's needed to have the best end-of-life experiences for the people that we love in this world, that it's just going to get harder and harder for them. But we're here to answer that. If you have any questions, you can write them in the chat box now. Let me just see right here if we have some comments going. And I want to thank you so much for being here. So we are on a couple of different platforms, and I also want you to know that we're listening to what you're saying, and we are responding to what you're saying. We have polled our email list, and we've said, what do you really want training in? What are your needs? Are you wanting to learn how to care for a family member? Are you wanting to plan for your own aging and end of life? Or do you want to become a professional doula giver? So there have been so many people who said, I absolutely love this training. I love this conversation. I don't want to be a professional doula giver, but I want more training for me. I want more training for for my family. And guess what? We have that. So we're always going to educate and do as much as we can, but we have an incredibly beautiful program that's going to be launched for family caregivers in August. So stay tuned to that, because that's going to be available for everyone. And I have to tell you something, that 80 to 90% of a positive end of life depends on two things: planning ahead, and also knowing the basic skills on how to care for somebody at the end of life. Again, this is a human skill. End of life is not a medical experience. It's a human one, and it's a holistic one. And I've been honored and privileged to be with over 1,000 people at the end of life. And I will tell you this, that I have seen some of the most beautiful end of life experiences, that if you knew the truth about that, if you knew end of life could be like that, you would never be afraid. So I'm going to share that with you, and I'm going to tell you about it. So get ready for some really great things happening. And again, if you are interested in being a death doula, come to the free death doula training on July 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I will put the link below, or you can go to doulagivers.com. It'll be the last opportunity to take the certified end-of-life doula training standalone. And there just may be, if you come to that webinar, and I'm saying that with a big smile on my face, there just may be a very special discount for that standalone end-of-life doula training. So again, that will be discontinued on August 1st, but you can, of course, still be a practitioner if you're called to the space. We need you. We need you to come forth and to be serving families and patients at the end of life if you have that gift. Death is the number one fear in this world. It does not need to be. We need your help. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm going to put the link below, or you can go to doulagivers.com, and I'll see you on July 20th. Mwah. Thanks, everybody.